Hey folks, this is Dewan. I am co-founder and CEO of NutraDetective. I woke up this morning and I had a very, very, very burning desire to give out some information that I had come across about red dye number 40. The government is officially, well, so they say, that they are phasing it out. So food companies are going to have some time to start phasing this out. But this is the key thing. The key thing is it's not phased out yet, so it's still going to be affecting millions of us. One of the things that some of the effects that I had seen in an article just recently. It was on Century Medical and Dental. One of the things that they said about red dye number 40, this is what they said. Here's some of the symptoms. Unpredictable temper outbursts, depression, suicidal thoughts, panic attack, distraction, confusion. Any of you parents out there, some of you may see some of this in some of your children, and that in itself can give you a way to understand what could possibly be going on with your children. Now, please understand this. It's not just red dye number 40. There's yellow number 5. There's yellow number 4. There's all these other additives in these colors that they use. I think one's called tangerine or something such as that. I'm not aware of every single one. But as I continue to research, I am looking at all of these things. And one of the things that I was looking at today, just now, is I was on the internet looking at ResearchGate, and some of the things that I seen was quite alarming. The chemical makeup of red dye number 4T is extremely concerning. I remember once upon a time thinking that processed foods were foods that, if the way it was processed was that, okay, it went through a machine, the machine separated things, packaged certain stuff, and then it was off to the stores. That's what I thought processing meant. Processing is something else entirely. We're talking about the building of food, the building of food. You build houses, you build cars. Food is grown, not built. And that scared me just a little bit. Okay, let me be honest with you. It scared me a whole lot, right? Because there's so many people right now, they don't know what they are feeding themselves and their children. Here, let me help you understand just a little bit. So, primary precursor chemicals and their origins. Folks, some of this stuff I can't even pronounce. And these are some of the things that are in these additives, like red dye number 40. 5-amino, 4-methoxy, 2-methylbenzosulfonic acid, cresidine sulfonic acid. And then it has all these different chemical structures, like you see in a lab, like a scientific lab. and they show all these numbers with these hexagons, and then they got, like 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen, showing how that's displayed. Well, here, this is quite different. Schaffer's acid, I don't even know what that is. And some of the additional raw materials required include sodium nitrate, it generates nitrous acid, more acid, acidic, hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. I think I seen something once upon a time where sulfuric acid was spilled on the ground or on the table or on something, and it burned a hole through it. Sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide. I'm not even sure what that is. Yeah, sodium, I guess it has something to do with salt. Olemium, sulfonating agent for introducing sulfonate groups. Okay, sulfonate groups. All right, what is a sulfonate group? Let's just look this up really quickly because I have no idea what this is. Okay, sulfonate group, a stable anionic functional group derived from sulfonic acids, and just more acid, characterized by a sulfur atom double bonded to 2 oxygens and single bonded to another oxygen, which carries the negative charge, and the organic R group, making it excellent for imparting water solubility, acting as good leaving groups, like in tosylates and methylates, and influencing molecular polarity, found widely in detergents, dyes, and biochemicals. Okay, that's scary. That's just scary. All that stuff to make the color of the food look more appealing. Another thing that they use is nitric acid for nitration reactions. Okay, so folks, now, from what I understand is they said that they're trying to do these, they make these chemicals so they can make the food look more appealing. You know what you can do to make food look more appealing? Like if you want to make it look redder, you can use beet juice. Beet juice. Why put all these chemicals in this food? Why do that instead of just doing something very simple like just using beet juice? This stuff is banned in a lot of countries. The European Union seems to be not letting the food industry do this to their people. So here in America, why are we allowing this here? Also, bread number 40 is called Allure Red AC. Okay, so I'm gonna read an overview to you about Red number 40. While Red 40, Allure Red AC, isn't officially classified as a carcinogen by regulatory bodies like the FDA, recent studies suggest it can cause DNA damage and colonic inflammation in mice, potentially raising risk for early onset colorectal cancer. Some research indicates it may act as a punitive carcinogen by interacting with inflammatory pathways, especially when consumed in ultra-processed foods. There goes that ultra-processed again, or that process, right? Warranting further investigation despite its current approval for use. So here are some of the key findings and concerns. DNA damage. Studies show Red 40 can damage DNA in lab settings, in vitro, and in living organisms, in vivo. Inflammation. It can lead to low-grade colonic inflammation and dysbiosis, imbalance of gut bacteria in mice, particularly with high fatty diets. Okay, so carcinogenic pathways. And I'm by no means not an expert. I'm just a guy who created an app, who watched Food Inc. on Netflix once upon a time and got grossed out by what they were doing to the cows. They had cows eating grain. Eating grain. And cows are not supposed to eat grain. They're supposed to eat grass. They're grazers. And because they were feeding the cows grain to fatten them up. And then they'd give them injections and all these things to make the meat steroid. They could, inject steroids to make the meat more plentiful. So the cow would get heavier, thus increasing their profits. Well, one of the things that I seen, and this is a documentary that came out in 2008 or 2009. So one of the things that they showed us was the side of a cow that was open. It was like an open wound on the side of a cow. And they had to do this to get this gunk out of the cow, which was like kind of a gas and pus kind of thing. And they had a hole in the side of the cow and they were pulling it out of the cow because its body could not process what they were feeding it. And so they had to pull it out externally instead of the cow by natural means of, by natural waste means, taking a poop. They had to pull it out of the side of the cow. They opened it up and they were pulling it out. Oh, it was gross. Okay, I'm gonna finish here if you don't mind. So carcinogenic pathways. Red 40 might promote colorectal cancer by disrupting inflammation in the microbiome through direct carcinogenicity. Though direct human carcinogenicity isn't established. I butchered that. So they're just saying that they haven't found that it ties directly to people yet. Don't let that be the reason why you say it's safe. Contamination. The dye can sometimes contain carcinogenic contaminants like benzodiazepine, adding to health concerns. Benzodiazepine. Oof. All right. And people, read this stuff. This is factual. The government let these food companies feed this to us. I got something else that I'm going to show you that's going to be very, very, very alarming. So the current status is Red 3 is being banned due to proven cancer links in animals, but Red 40 isn't banned yet, with more research needed to definitively link it to cancer in humans. Folks, don't be the guinea pig, okay? Do not feed this to your children, especially to yourself. Don't feed this. I wouldn't give this stuff to my dog if I had a dog. I don't have a dog, but I wouldn't give this stuff to my dog. And another thing too, have you guys ever noticed that you have a dog and you feed it your table scraps, and then the next thing you know, you got to take the dog for surgery for cancer? I've had that happen with my animal because I was feeding it table scraps, and then we had to get cancer cut off of the animal. Concerns are growing due to ubiquity in processed foods, especially those marketed to children, and its link to rising rates of EOCRC. In summary, Red 40 is under increasing scrutiny and scientific evidence pointing to potentially DNA damage and inflammatory effects that suggest a role in cancer development, even if it's not officially a classified carcinogen yet. So folks, you gotta be very careful about what you're feeding yourself and feeding your family. Just because the FDC says it's safe right now, it doesn't mean that it is. And then some of these precursors, I've read some of these precursors to you, all these acids. And, you know, my wife said something very interesting. She said that your body is alkaline, and most diseases, viruses and things such as in that nature cannot survive in an alkaline setting, right? So if your body is alkaline, meaning you eat lots of foods that have high alkalinity, then you're less likely to get cancer or, you know, sick or diseases or anything of that nature, and that's scientifically proven. Here's the other part of it. If your body is acidic, you will get sick. Your body is more susceptible to cancer. It's a fact. It's been proven already. And with them putting these dyes in kids' cereals, I was just looking, I was doing a video for NutraDetective and going to Walmart and stores, just various stores, and grabbing the cereals off the shelf and scanning the cereals. Well, one cereal called Lucky Charms, they're magically delicious. That ain't magic, folks. They built that. But about 4, maybe 5, I can't remember offhand, but I know it was at least 4 dyes in it, including red dye number 40, like yellow number 5. There were a bunch of them, and I pray that everyone takes this and for what it is. The research is out there. This is a very big problem, and it's real. This is not fake. I mean, we got people getting cancer all the time. And, you know, the government has a lot to answer for, right? But I'm telling you right now, I'm sick and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people getting sick. I'm tired of my family members dying. I'm tired of watching people all over the place being sick. I'm tired of watching kids have diabetes. I'm tired of kids, you know, not being able to run. I'm tired of kids growing up with ADHD in all these different things that are going on with them. I'm tired of the suicide rate. I'm just tired of all of this stuff. And a lot of it has to do with what we're putting in our bodies. I'm just tired of it, folks. And so that's why I built NutraDetective. You can download it. It's free to download. Scan products, scan the barcodes, find out what's in the food. And by all means, don't eat it if you can't spell it. I mean, you don't have to be a PhD, you don't have to have a PhD, you don't have to be a scientist, right? If you can't spell it, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. With that being said, thanks, folks. I love all of y'all, and God bless.